Hey y'all, I just wanted to quickly read something that I wrote in this journal last week. Curiosity and open morality, how to not live a limited life. I'm coming around to forming the belief that human nature is something that can be extensively observed but never truly understood. We may feel a sense of clarity for a split second and brush against the shoulder of universal truth for a moment, but it all escapes at the end of the day. However, there are aspects of life that have the capability of drawing us into the orbit of what we want to know. And two of those aspects have weighed upon my mind heavily recently: curiosity and morality. They exist in two different spheres of original thought in my head. I hope to push them together to form a mental Venn diagram. Humans are naturally very curious and investigative creatures. The desire to understand greatly compels us. Why else would I be writing? But curiosity is like a muscle. It must be exercised in order to maintain its strength and reach. For some people, curiosity was not properly fostered, leading to quite unpleasant circumstances, in my humble opinion. The poor souls. I've been blessed with two loving parents that raised me to be critical of the world I reside in. And this fact alone makes me think about those who were raised to only question specific things, or nothing at all, which is very unfortunate when you consider that all people depend on one another. Being curious and asking questions not only benefits you, but society as well. It is not enough to be satisfied by what is spoon-fed to you, no matter how much the powers that be want to convince you otherwise. With a little break to switch thoughts. The perpetual attempts that people make to moralize things have grown to perplex me more and more as I age. I know that many like order and organizing things into categories that are easy to understand, such as good and bad, but I can't help but think that this is counterintuitive and detrimental to living. Creating such rigid boxes does not allow for life's fluid-like complexities to be acknowledged properly. Coupled with the consequences that come with each label, these classes have the potential to create a great deal of conflict within humans. For example, some, maybe even a lot of people, have an extremely hard time coming to grips with the fact that they've made a mistake or done something bad, that they cannot move on from it. I believe this is due to moralizing any and everything we come in contact with. The connotation of bad is so severe, has been made so severe, that it cripples some folks. When thinking of this, I remember Emerson's concept of man thinking versus a thinking man. We are human first, then we put forth actions out of our humanity. The same goes for good and bad, I suppose. Good person versus person who does good things. Bad person versus person who's done a bad thing. To fear committing a bad act is to fear half of your humanity and more. Just because society decides to define you by one action does not mean you have to limit yourself. Utilizing empathy means you use it on you too. Be kind with yourself just as you are with others. Accept the consequences of your actions and remember to let things go. You have to develop the bandwidth to tap into your own humanity with grace and respect. And that's all I have.